The Tughlaq dynasty. As we have learned earlier that the Sultanate of Delhi was ruled by 5 dynasties, namely the Slave dynasty, and this dynasty is of Qutbuddin Aibak. Next comes Khilji dynasty, and this dynasty is of Alauddin Khilji. The third dynasty now we are going to learn and is the Tughlaq dynasty. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq founded the Tughlaq dynasty in 1320 CE. So please note the point, who is the founder of Tughlaq dynasty? He, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. He was an experienced warrior, statesman and an able administrator. He liberated or he freed various harsh measures imposed by Alauddin Khilji and restored peace and order in the kingdom. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, 1325 to 1351 CE. In the year 1325 CE, Prince Jauna Khan, the son of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, he was the founder of Tughlaq dynasty, ascended. Who, the son of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, his name is Jauna Khan, ascended or take off the throne with the title Muhammad bin Tughlaq. He was an outstanding ruler of Tughlaq dynasty. He is known for his military, economic and administrative experiments. Military campaign. Muhammad bin Tughlaq led a successful campaign against Nagarkot, that is in Nepal, in 1337 CE. Though his expedition or his journey of Karajal of the foothill of Himalaya was successful, his army suffered heavy losses because of severe cold. He also led a campaign against Kampli Raya. He was a ruler of Kampli kingdom in Karnataka, and Veeraballala III of Hoysalas, that's in Belur district of Karnataka. During his rule, there were rebellions by Hindu chiefs and Muslim provincial governors who were ruthlessly suppressed, ruthlessly in the sense who were mercilessly defeated or conquered. Administrative experiment, or you can tell as administrative reforms. Number 1. Actually, this is very much important. You can expect this question for an exam. What are the administrative experiment of Tughlaq dynasty? And let's know number 1. Increase of taxes in the Doab region. The area between the river Ganges and Yamuna, this is what known as the Doab region. Ganga and Yamuna places, these places were known as the Doab region, being very fertile. Muhammad bin Tughlaq decided to increase the taxes in the area to enhance the revenue of his empire. Though the rivers are very fertile, namely these Gangas and Yamuna rivers are very fertile, this Muhammad bin Tughlaq decided to increase the taxes in the area to enhance the revenue of his empire. Though it is a practical decision, no matter. But what you know, the tax hike, that means that tax raise was too steep in the sense that was very much expensive and introduced at the time when lack of rainfall had already created much unhappiness. When the farmers were unable to pay, they were ruthlessly punished. This measure made Muhammad bin Tughlaq very unpopular. I hope you got the meaning. Number 2. Transfer of capital in 1327 CE. To safeguard the capital from Mongol tribes invasion, the Sultan decided to shift the capital from Delhi to Devagiri. You know, this Devagiri is there in southward. From Delhi to Devagiri, he decided to shift the capital. He built a new city near Devagiri, that's in Maharashtra, and named it as Daulatabad. As you know that one reason is due to the Mongol invasion. The other reason to transfer the capital is, the shifting of capital where the proximity, or you can tell as this closeness or nearness of Delhi to the border, and the new capital being in the center of the empire. He decided to shift the entire population. Barini, one of the writers during Tughlaq dynasty time, he says that not a cat or dog was left. Also, Ibn Battuta, he was a Moroccan scholar, says a blind man and a cripple, in the sense paralyzed people who were unwilling to move, were dragged to the new capital. The reason for the move were very practical, but the method adopted was impractical. The entire population of Delhi was made to travel to Daulatabad. It takes 1120 kilometers. The tiresome journey was passing through the dense forest. Heavy rains, diseases, dacoits attacked, in the sense armed robber, hunger, etc. This resulted in death and suffering of the people. Realizing that he had made a mistake, Sultan ordered all the people to march back to Delhi again, causing many more casualties. The entire incident made him highly unpopular. The third one, token currency reforms 1329 to 1332 CE. Muhammad bin Tughlaq carried out experiments on coinage and currency. So he planned to make a coin. His main aim was to save precious metals like gold and silver and introduce more money in circulation. For this reason, copper coins were issued which had the same value as silver tanka. Minting in the sense making a coin by stamping method. So minting the copper coins was not retained or kept as monopoly of the government. Hence the empire was flooded with thousands of counterfeit, in the sense thousands of fake copper coins. People paid taxes with these counterfeit coins, means fake coins. Copper coins lost their value as a medium of exchange. Trade suffered a lot. The Sultan therefore recalled copper coins. The people were asked to exchange their copper coins with silver and gold coins. Hence the royal treasury became empty. Thus the currency reforms of Sultan utterly failed. Next, his character traits or its character quality and achievements have elicited or obtained much discussion and controversy. Dr. V.A. Smith says that he was a compound of a contradiction or combination of statement, idea opposed to one another. So according to Dr. V.A. Smith, he was telling that he was a compound of contradiction. He was learned scholar, an excellent speaker, a talented calligraphist, and a devout Mussulman. He possessed sound knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, and logic. But his policies, though well meant, were ill planned and badly executed. They made him very unpopular, giving him the reputation of being a mixture of opposites. You can expect a question, why this Muhammad bin Tughlaq called as a mixture of opposites? Because as we people are accepting according to him, his ideas, his contradiction are different. Next, Muhammad bin Tughlaq died at Takhta, that's in Sindh, in 1351 CE. The noble chose Firoz Shah Tughlaq as his successor. The Sultanate had slowly begun to decline. The Tughlaqs were followed by the Sayyid and Lodhis. The last Lodhi ruler, Ibrahim Lodhi, was defeated in first battle of Panipat in 1526 CE by Babur, the founder of Mughals. So let's know about the rulers of Sayyid and Lodhi dynasty. So ruler of Sayyid dynasty, or you can tell as Sayyid Sultans in 1414 to 1451 CE. They were Kaiser Khan, Mubarak Shah, Sayyid Muhammad Shah, and Alauddin Alam Shah. In Lodhi dynasty, Lodhi Sultans in 1451 to 1426 CE, Bahala Lodhi, Nizam Khan, Sikandar Lodhi, and Ibrahim Lodhi. Just now we have read that the last Lodhi ruler, Ibrahim Lodhi, was defeated in the first battle of Panipat in 1526 CE by Babur, the founder of Mughals.